Does your young child show defiance and say no when you tell them something or give them instructions? If you are struggling with this, stay tuned because I'm going to give you step-by-step instruction on how to solve this problem for good. If you haven't been here before, welcome. I'm Holly McLean, the Mommy Answer Lady. I'm a certified parent educator, mom of 9, and author of the book and online course, How to Train Your Child to Behave. On this channel, you will find new weekly step-by-step instructional content to help you become the most effective parent you can be. So please subscribe right now. I'm going to get right into the instructions, but I wanted to make sure to mention that it's important that you watch and listen to all the information here to the end, because after the step-by-step, there's another element that's very important to the overall picture of what may be going on with your child. So be sure and watch to the end. So let's get right into it. You tell your child to do something and they respond with a defiant no. What should you do? Take time to teach and train them that this behavior is not acceptable, and here's how. Number 1, look them in the eye. It's important to stop what you are doing and immediately address them face to face and straightforward. Do not try to do this passively. Behavior like this must be taken seriously. Number 2, speak with control. If you're like me, it's tempting to lose it at a moment of exasperation, and when a child openly defies you, that is one of those tempting moments. Instead, remember this is an opportunity to teach your child to behave and comply. Try to see it that way instead of a personal attack on you or your authority. So be sure not to get excited or angry and start speeding up your words or rambling on. Instead, control your emotions and speak very clearly and with purpose. Your calm and controlled demeanor will add to the respect, impact, and serious nature of what you're trying to convey, even to very young toddlers. Number 3, define your role. The way you define your role in this area is to tell them directly, you do not say no to mommy or daddy, whatever the case may be. It's important for them to understand that you and they have different roles in each other's lives. You are the parent. You make the rules and set the boundaries. They are to obey those rules and listen to you. Number 4, tell them what they can say. Let your child know that they cannot say no, but instead they should say, yes ma'am, or I'll do that right now, or okay. If they're listening to you as they should be, ask them which they prefer. But if they are not and have a bad attitude, tell them which one you want them to say. Number 5, give them time to comply. If they have a bad attitude at this point, tell them to go to a quiet place that you choose and sit until they are ready to discuss the matter further. Make sure they have no distractions, toys, books, and etc., and know they are to stay there until they are ready. This may be a few minutes or it may be longer. It's up to them. When they are ready to talk seriously, they can come back to you and continue. Just make sure they understand it's up to them how long they choose to sit there. Number 6, role play. When they return to you, take some time to teach and train them by going through a role play session. Tell them you're going to pretend they are playing with their toys, and you are going to tell them to pick up their toys and put them in the toy box. Remind them of the phrase they are supposed to say when you give them the instruction. Then practice it with them. Number 7, never allow it. Don't allow it to happen again without consequences. If they say no again the next time, repeat the whole thing. Going through this whole thing is a consequence. Again, look them in the eye with your eyebrows down and a low tone and say, you don't say no to mommy. Then have them sit out until they're ready to role play. Do a short role play again and then move on. Of course, in all of this, they will have to comply with the initial reason they said no in the first place. Make sure they do what you had originally instructed. Remember, you are in charge. The moment you allow your child to say no to you in a defiant way, they have become the leader and you the follower. Follower is not your role, and leader is not their role in your parent-child relationship. Before I go, I wanted to address a root problem that may be happening with your child if they are constantly saying no to you. Part of it was already addressed when I mentioned that you play a different role than they do. The idea in their mind that you are in charge has definitely been fuzzy if they believe they can get by with being defiant when you give them instruction. But another thing to consider is that your relationship may need some mending. We don't want to be dictators to our children, barking out orders and demanding compliance at all times. But we want an appropriate parent-child relationship that has mutual understanding and cooperation. Like I said throughout my book and online course and in many of my online videos and podcasts, having eye-to-eye time with your child is essential in building up that relationship. Be sure to keep that up. If you don't know what eye-to-eye time is, it's 5 to 10 minutes of uninterrupted time where you focus completely on them. Do it at least twice a day. Turn off your phone, computer, TV, or any other distractions. Do this with each individual child. Allow them to tell you about their dreams and goals, problems, joys, and etc. This is not a time for reprimand, and it actually isn't even a time to play a game or read. It is conversation time. It's a very short time out of your day, 5 to 10 minutes in the morning and evening. This alone will make a huge difference in your child's behavior and in your understanding of what's going on in their world. Take the time to do it, and you will see many of the behaviors you've been dealing with disappear just by doing this alone. And one more thing to do, be sure to subscribe to this channel. If you have any questions, ask them in the comments below. Parents, you can do this. I really hope to see you here next week.